Welcome to the ISB show. Good morning, Europe. And we have reached it, Rahi. This is the final leg. Well, not the final leg, but the first part of the final leg. The playoffs, of course, will happen next year of European World Cup qualifying, Rahi. We get to see who's going to make it. Shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's start off with the teams. We're going to make some bold predictions here out there for all you fans who've been following.
Are they that bold, really?
Kind of bold, little bold here. We're going to start off with the teams that we should have already congratulated, that we will say will make it to the World Cup. And we'll start off, Rahi, with the jersey that you are wearing. Of course, that is the Croatian national football team. Here is why they are going to make it, my friend.
Yep, that is correct. A third World Cup for Zlatko Dalic. Very, very impressive coaching performance. Once again, very professional. They got this done. Yes, sometimes a little nervy moments, but in the end, it's a good Croatian performance. It's a team. Underestimate them at your peril. Luka Modric still pulling the strings in midfield, but there's players all over the pitch now. Interesting team, of course. Josko Vardiol in the back, some real talent all over the place. But look up top. There's where there's some interesting wingers now. Perisic's still going strong. We shall see, my friend. There's all the old guys, but infused with some young talent. Good, solid qualification for Croatia.
Yeah, so let me show this again. You want to explain to the fans why Croatia is going to make this?
They've already played Czechia twice. They now have a game in hand. And look at that goal difference, right? So let's say on the off chance that they were to lose both games, Czechia were able to tie them. That goal difference, they're not making that up. This is Croatia's into the World Cup. We can safely say that.
Yes, we can safely say that Croatia is into the World Cup. We claimed it here. Croatia was the first team that we said on this list. Okay, let us now let's jump around a little bit. I'm going to go to the next group that I have listed here. And, sorry, do you want to say anything else about Croatia?
No. Just really impressive. Once again, who knows what they could do in the World Cup?
My question to you, are you going to keep this Lotto vintage jersey? Are you going to wear it, or are you going to get a new jersey for Croatia for the World Cup? That's my question to you.
Good question. Let's see. If someone has a good suggestion, is it the new one? Should I get one of the other eras of the jersey? They've had some interesting ones as well.
Yes, let us know in the comments. But okay, moving on to the next group. Of course, this is the last group. We show the Croatia group. Portugal group here. We are saying, like I mentioned here, that of course Portugal is going to qualify. Rahi, why are they qualifying here? What are we saying here?
Another impressive coaching performance. Roberto Martinez has got this team playing very well. And look, Cristiano has continued to be a big part of this team. Say what you want, playing in Saudi Arabia, continues to score goals. But boy, is this team talented all over the pitch. Starting with the guys at PSG, of course, Nuno Mendes. I mean, it's a great, great team. It's a talented team. This is a sneaky favorite for the World Cup.
Yeah, they just won the Nations League, of course. And the reason, of course, that we're saying that they're going to make it here is because they have to play Armenia left. We're thinking that that's going to be 3 points right there. And of course, with that, no one can catch them after that. So, all right, Rahi, that's that. Let's move on to the next group that I have here. España. Now, it's only 3 points, the difference here, but why do we think that they're going to cruise through, Rahi? What do we
we saw what happened when they played Turkey the first time. It was not even close. So in theory, yes, Turkey has a chance if they were to beat Spain. But let's be honest, this Spanish team has been the most impressive team in Europe by far. This is the Euro champions, of course, is a talented team. We shall see. There are some weaknesses at times in the back for the Spanish side, but you have to say they've been so impressive. No one's been better in Europe.
Yeah, no one is better in Europe. And of course, they will host Turkey for this match here. And, because of that, it's really not going to matter too much what happens in the other match because Turkey is going to have to beat Spain in Spain. That's not going to happen according to us. All right, Rahi, you spent some time in France here. It's not done. It's not done here, but of course, we think that France is going to beat Azerbaijan, and hence we think they're going to get through.
Yeah, I mean, they're through. We said this from the beginning. This is a team that should have walked through qualifying. They somewhat did, but this is an interesting, strange French side. I've never understood why they're not able to reach the heights that they could. Yes, of course, they made the World Cup final twice in a row, but you always felt that there's another gear that they haven't quite gotten to. If they get to that gear, this team is unstoppable considering the players they have, not just Kylian Mbappe, but of course in that midfield, it's insane, right?
Yeah.
Chouamini looks incredible for Real Madrid, Cavaminga. There's so many players on this team, but we shall see. They've been a little lukewarm at times, but they'll walk into the World Cup. You look at that, yeah, there's 3 points difference, but they're going to be in the World Cup, and
Yeah.
that'll be this round.
They're going to be in the World Cup. And another team that is going to also be in the World Cup, we're saying, is the Netherlands. And another country that Rahi spent some time in. And of course, here we go. Okay, yes, they have to play Poland away. But even if they lose that, Rahi, we think the differential is too strong to be able
Too
to
strong,
matter.
the goal difference, and it'll be great because it's if there's any fans who travel very, very well and who bring the right energy to tournaments, that's the Dutch fans. They travel in a big contingent. They show up, they're energetic, they're fun. They'll be in the US, Mexico, and Canada. It's an interesting time for the Dutch team because it's not the most talented team they've had. We saw them in the Euros maybe overperform a little bit, but then, fell rather tamely to England. So we shall see. We shall see. Can they find another gear? There's talent on this team, but not the best iteration, especially up front for this Dutch side. But hey, they almost eliminated Argentina from the last World Cup. So this is always a team to be reckoned with. Let's see what they can do.
And of course, the bright orange jerseys of Oranje will be displayed at the World Cup, which everyone loves. Okay, so we think that,
And
of course,
Memphis
Netherlands
Depay with the best headband, the only headband in the game.
Memphis Depay is going to be at a World Cup again. And of course, the neighbors to the south, Rahi, the Belgians, we are also saying the Belgians are going to get through. If people look at this, they think, okay, well, it looks like very tight in there, but Belgium's remaining game is against Liechtenstein, one of them. And so we think those are going to be 3 points right there.
Yeah, again, it's down to who they've played. They've played Wales twice. They've played North Macedonia. So at this point, the tough games are out of the way. Again, a very, very talented Belgian side as they have been. Not the same as that golden generation. Of course, you saw De Bruyne. It looks like he's injured. But Salamakers has been excellent for AC Milan, perhaps their best player. So there's talent all over the pitch. There always has been. Doku, of course.
Yep.
We shall see,
And another team that will be at the World Cup. Okay, so now we have listed these teams that we mentioned that are going to be at the World Cup. Now we're going to shift into the matches that all you fans out there need to be watching this round, because there's some groups that have not been decided yet, and we are going to get into those groups. Okay. And we are going to start off, Rahi, with our first match to watch, which of course is going to be from this group, which of course, surprise, surprise, I am wearing the jersey of that team, not the jersey.
They should really be in the teams already qualified. I mean, there's no way they're not going to qualify. They've been so impressive. I talked about Spain being the most impressive team, yes, but you have to say, is there a team that has been more impressive in qualifiers, has had a better qualification campaign than Norway?
There is not, but let me tell you, out of all the matches that they played in this qualification campaign, you know which one was the hardest? Was this match against Estonia. This is the one they struggled with the most. So, all the Norwegian fans in our comments, and again, like I've always said, I'm not Norwegian, but I feel like I've adopted this team, and basically have said, don't say it's done until it's done. 25 years without a major tournament, right? They are waiting for this match. The key to this match, Rahi, will be a good start, because the longer this match goes scoreless, the longer there is a dicey situation, things are going to be a little nerve-wracking.
Man, you really have adopted this team. You sound as nervous as all the Norwegian fans in our comments. Yes. There's nothing to be nervous about. Erling Haaland looks like he can't stop scoring. This team is going to be fine. They're going to, even if they don't get the result they need in this game, they will qualify in the next. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but they will qualify. They will find a way. This has been the most impressive story in Europe. I think the way that they've taken the talent, we know that they have, but wow, they've looked incredible. I have to get something Norwegian, maybe jersey. I should get a jersey, but also like I need some like Norwegian food, something like should I watch a Norwegian movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
think the fans in the comments should let us know about all of that. But okay. Then we're going to go on to our next match to watch, Rahi, which, of course, here we go. It is this group right
Mm.
here. Now, this is probably one of the most interesting groups that there is because it has been right from the start because of the way Scotland has not played necessarily, but the way they've gotten results, it's become a very tight group.
Another similar story. We talked about a team that starved for success with the very vibrant fan base. Scotland has waited for a qualification campaign like this. And hey, look at the group. Not only are they in second and likely to make the playoff, they can win this group. They play Denmark at home. At home. There's possibilities. They're going to, of course, have to win that game because of the goal difference. But if they do, they could automatically
Yeah,
qualify for the World Cup.
but I think the more important match, to be honest, for Scottish fans, is the away to Greece match because firstly, I should have put Greece. They're playing in Greece. It's not they're not hosting it, but that match they cannot lose because if they lose that match, in all probability, it's done. Your expectation is
Hold
that
on. Done
Denmark.
to
Your
win the group.
expectation,
To
yeah,
win
yeah,
the
done
group.
to
But
win the
they'll
group.
still
Yeah.
make the playoff. Yeah.
Of course, they're through to the playoffs already, but they're looking at from this perspective, right? They're already through. It's a match where if they go into Greece, and I just want to say this again, so all the Scottish fans know, they only need a draw. A win doesn't mean much anything because you're going to have to win that last game in Scotland no matter what. So all you need, if you look at this points table, is all you need is a draw away against Greece. Yes, Denmark will leapfrog you based on that, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna have to win that last match anyway.
That is an
It's
excellent point
yeah,
because you look at that group and you think we got to keep pace and we have to win the game. That's an important point for all Scottish fans out there. It doesn't matter if you win or draw against Greece. You just can't lose because you're gonna have to win that last game. That's a great wow. That's a very
yes,
good point. Like that's why we have you on this show. That's why you're
yeah.
the guy hosting this. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really crucial.
It just want to make sure everyone is aware of that
I
situation.
hope they know that, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Steve Clark probably knows that. I would hope. But okay, moving now on to another group that we're gonna go into, which this one Rahi looked done and finished, and suddenly it's not anymore. And let's talk about this group a little bit because we thought Switzerland was cruising and they were rolling through.
Yeah.
And now, if a couple results don't go the way that they could, this match that we've pointed out here, Kosovo versus Switzerland, it could be a vital match.
Yeah, I've talked up the Swiss team. They were so impressive in beating Italy in the Euros. They took England to the ropes. Murat Yakin is one of my favorite managers in Europe. But look out. Kosovo has been so impressive. Ooh, could be interesting. It's not done. It's definitely not done. Could be tricky.
Could be a tricky match, Ryan. What it's going to take is a good performance by Kosovo against Slovenia,
Yeah,
and then
not an easy game.
Sweden could play spoiler for Switzerland in that match, and that would set up the last match.
And that's the thing. We've talked about the Swedish team for a long time, how talented they are. And remember, they're most likely going to get into the playoff via the back door of the Nations League. So
Yeah.
it's not over for Sweden. And they need to find some momentum sometime, right? You need to start playing. So
Yeah.
this is an important game for the Swedes because they can find some cohesion. They can take some momentum into that playoff. Most likely they're going to be there.
Yeah, most likely they will be in the playoffs and with through that Nations League route. So of course, in this case, they would be helping Kosovo. Let's go to this group here. It's of course not because we don't know who's going to win the group because England is of course already through. But what I wanted to point out in this match is actually England's matches against the other teams in the group are going to determine who gets through.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Albania has been impressive, right? They have been very good. We shall see, though. They have to avoid losing to England in a way that Serbia, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens between Serbia and England. They seem to always play. They're always in the same group, and Serbia always gives England trouble. But Albania is going to have to match that result. So let's see what happens. You have to say at this point, Albania just a point above because of what they did in that game against Serbia. So they're favorites to make it. England still has a big role to play to determine which of these fierce rivals is going to get in.
It's wild that England is going to play decider in terms of this particular situation of who's going to get through.
Most likely they win both games, England.
Oh, that's a bold statement by some fans in the comments have already been thinking that you're an England supporter or something like that, which I don't know, not to be.
Look, I'm the least among anyone a big England supporter, but you have to call him like you see him. And I hate to admit this, England looks incredibly dominant at the moment. Tuchel looks like he's got this team playing well. And looks like he's the right manager for them. And we have to, as all the non-English people, we have to accept the fact that they are a real favorite to win the World Cup. It's better to prepare yourself for the worst outcomes.
Yeah,
be ready.
Be ready. It could be coming home.
Oh man,
that'd be wild. But anyway, going on to the next group where we have another match to watch.
This is interesting.
Here's the group, Rahi. Here it is.
We talked about Austria as running away with the group at times. We thought early on, Ralf Rangnick has a team playing that sort of high press. They looked incredible. But Romania had something to say, beating Austria, which has opened up this group very interestingly. Now, all these teams at the top have a chance. And guess what? Bosnia gets to play both these teams. So Bosnia, of all these guys, has the most control over their own destiny in some ways. They'd have to win both games. Of course, Romania not out of it either. Romanian interesting team. We've seen some things at times from Romania. They have the best penalty taker in the world, in my opinion. But yes, it's an interesting group.
It's an interesting group, but let's show that again because there's a very interesting situation here, right, with this group. So here's the group again, as I mentioned, Rahi, with Austria, Bosnia, Romania, Cyprus, San Marino. The one little caveat is that weird situation where, Rahi, it might be better for San Marino to lose this match to Romania that we talked about. It is bizarre, right?
Right. It's a bizarre situation where San Marino, again, can get in via that backdoor Nations League because it goes by your division and how you are ranked in your division. So there's a chance that they could get their way in. It's better for them to lose because it would then open up one more spot. It's a bizarre scenario. All I can tell you, it's why this European qualification process is way too complex and very strange.
It's a bizarre situation. I mean, stuff like this shouldn't happen, right?
No, it's the same thing we saw with Sweden, who's now they're basically out, but then they're gonna get in. So there's so many weird incentives now because of this backdoor qualification that you literally have a situation where it's in the best interest of a team, San Marino, to actually lose because that will give them a better chance of making it to the playoff. Now, San Marino is likely going to lose regardless, but that's it's not something that they should hate when it happens.
100%. So now getting to the final group, Rahi, there's one more to go. Do you know which group that is?
It's the Germans. That's what we haven't talked about.
The Germans. The Germany group, Rahi. And interestingly enough, there is a match to watch. Believe it or not, that there is still a match in play for this group, and it's Germany. And that's how we're going to end this video. Can you believe this?
I mean, the team notably absent from who will qualify is the Germans because it's not done. We have no idea. This is a Slovakia team that has already beaten Germany once. So it's very possible they can do it again. Very fascinating group. Slovakia in with a real chance. And so many storylines. Northern Ireland's been great, by the way, in this group. They're likely to make it via the playoff as well, the backdoor situation. So the Germans have been disappointing, man.
Disappointing. And of course, like you said, Northern Ireland, of course, that has impressed me a lot. They are going to get in probably through the Nations League. But Slovakia, if they win that match against Northern Ireland, they set up a very interesting clash in Germany. And look at that. That is going to be an opportunity to go to the World Cup. Can you believe that?
That'll be an opportunity. Can you imagine? Slovakia, look, it's hard. It's in Germany. It's a difficult game. But they've already beaten them once, man. They could do it again.
It'll be an unbelievable match. And that was going to wrap up this video. For all of you out there who are fans of European football, we hope you've been enjoying these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts of who's going to get through We will come by with a reaction video. Rahi, are you ready? This is going to be a fun round.
Get your Norwegian items ready for the celebration. Get ready, Oslo. This thing's about to pop off. They're about to qualify.
See you all soon. Keep watching the beautiful game.